Welcome, fellow crime and mystery enthusiasts, to Crime After Dark, where the unthinkable becomes reality and the sinister secrets are unveiled. If you're ready to take the chance of not being able to sleep tonight, then stay for the rest of this video and make sure to like and subscribe at the end. But hey, it is not all doom and gloom here. Amidst the intrigue and the evil, we'll share insights and maybe even crack a smile or two amidst the darkness. Because in a world where the unimaginable becomes reality, a little bit of lightness can be the key to sanity. So, hit that subscribe button and prepare for an emotion-fueled roller coaster ride through the most mind-bending crimes imaginable. Today, we will be talking about a woman I like to call the female Jeffrey Dahmer. Her name is Tamara Samsonova, or otherwise known as the Granny Ripper. Samsonova was born April 25, 1947, in the city of Uzhur, part of the Krasnoyarsk Krai. After graduating from high school, Samsonova moved to Moscow and enrolled at Moscow State Linguistic University. After she graduated, Samsonova moved to St. Petersburg, where she married a man named Alexei Samsonova. In 1971, she and her husband settled into their newly built home. Samsonova worked part-time for a company called Intourist Travel Agency in the Grand Hotel Europe. Samsonova only worked here for about 16 years before she ended up going into early retirement. In the year 2000, Samsonova's husband, Alexei Samsonova, disappeared. Tamara Samsonova reported her husband missing to the local police. The police started an investigation, but after searching, police found nothing. Alexei Samsonova was just gone. 15 years later, in April of the year 2015, Tamara Samsonova turned to the local authorities again. This time she went to the investigative unit of the Fruzensky district in St. Petersburg, giving a statement about her husband's disappearance. After Samsonova husband's disappearance, Samsonova began renting out a room in her apartment where she lived. September 6, 2003. During an argument with the man she was renting the room to, things took a turn for the worst, and Samsonova ended up killing the man. He was a 44-year-old resident from Norilsk. After killing the man, Samsonova then dismembered the guy's body and disposed of it on the streets of St. Dizhi. 12 years later, in March of 2015, Samsonova would meet a 79-year-old Valentina Nikolaevna Ulanova, who had also lived on Dimitrov Street. A friend of the two asked Ulanova to shelter Samsonova for a short period of time, due to the fact that Samsonova's apartment was being renovated at the time. So Ulanova agreed to let her come and stay at her house. Samsonova moved in and continued to live in Ulanova's apartment for several months, helping with the housework and anything she may have needed her to do. She began to like living in Ulanova's apartment. She wanted to stay there for longer than what they had originally agreed on and refused to move out. Over time, the relationship between the two deteriorated, and Ulanova eventually asked Samsonova to leave. Ulanova wanted her out. Whatever she was doing, Ulanova didn't like it and she didn't want to be around it, but somehow Samsonova was able to calm her down and convinces her to let her stay longer. But once again, they would end up getting into another argument. In this argument, I'm assuming Samsonova didn't like something that was said, or maybe Ulanova was trying to kick her out again, so she decided to poison Ulanova. Samsonova traveled to Pushkin, where she managed to meet a pharmacist to sell her a prescription drug called Phenazepam. On her way back returning to the city, she stopped and bought an Olivier salad, known to be one of Ulanova's favorite dishes. Then she hid the pills in the salad and gave it to the unsuspecting woman. Samsonova later unsurprisingly found Ulanova's body lying on the kitchen floor, on the night of July 23rd and proceeded to chop and dismember it with 2 knives and a saw. First, she started sawing off Ulanova's head. She then sawed her body in half, and then, using the knives, she sheared it into pieces small enough to fit into bags. Then she began to take all the bags outside of the apartment. She had to go outside and go back inside the apartment several times. Samsonova left a few pieces of Ulanova's body scattered in the house. I don't know what her reason was for leaving some of the body parts scattered inside of the house, but she did. On the evening of July 26th, Ulanova's decapitated body with severed limbs, wrapped in a bathroom curtain, was found near a pond at house number 10 on Dimitrov Street. The package initially didn't attract any attention for several days, until a local resident took an interest in its contents. Could you imagine going to be nosy and find a dead body with no head? I probably would have threw up my stomach and died. The identity of the deceased women was established on July 27th after a survey of apartment residents. When they knocked on Ulanova's apartment door, Samsonova opened the door to the local authorities standing right there. She let them in, and once they entered inside, the police officers found traces of blood in the bathroom and also fastenings from the torn-off curtain. After this, Samsonova was immediately arrested on suspicion of committing murder with extreme cruelty. On July 29, 2015, Samsonova was brought to the Frunze District Court of St. Petersburg, where she underwent a forensic psychiatric examination, and on November 26, 2015, the results determined that she was a danger to society and herself, and at that point she was placed in a specialized institution until the end of the investigation. In December of 2015, Samsonova was sent for compulsory psychiatric treatment in a specialized hospital in Kazan. At the time, she was being investigated in connection to a total of 14 murders. All of the victims had been cut into pieces and left in public parks around St. Petersburg. Among the victims was a man whose dismembered body had been found some years before her arrest. Samsonova appeared to have kept his business card as some sort of remembrance of him. Detectives had suspected that the former hotel worker may have cooked and eaten parts of her victims, and she reportedly had a particular taste for eating human lungs. Another one of her victims was her husband, who had went missing but was never found. The authorities cued that Samsonova had something to do with it, but since they couldn't find a body, they could say that he was dead, even though we all know that she killed him. Just to be honest with you guys, she probably ate him, but don't take my word. I'm not the police, this is just my opinion. According to the news and other media reports, police found a diary which contained details of some of the murders. One entry, translated from Russian to English, read, "I killed my tenant Volodya, cut him to pieces in the bathroom with a knife, and put the pieces of his body in plastic bags and threw them away in the different parts of Frunzensky district. This woman was absolutely sick." Well, that's going to just about do it, folks. I hope you enjoyed watching. Make sure if you liked this video, you give that like button a little tap before leaving. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you never miss a video. I would also love to hear you guys' feedback, so make sure you visit that comment section and tell me what's your take on this video. Love you guys, and see you in the next one. The identity